So when I saw you had, done all this stuff, I immediately bought this book, Ogilvy on
Yeah,
Advertising,
you'll love it.
and then Confessions of an Advertising
Yeah,
Man. These are the two
yeah,
I bought.
and then type in Joe Sugarman on Amazon and buy his Ad Week Guide to Copywriting.
Ah, okay.
That
There
one's
you go.
probably above everything my favorite. That one
Okay.
was out of print, but I'll send you a link where you can get it for cheap. But so here's how it works. So like in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, before the internet existed, you had these guys like David Ogilvy, and they basically wanted to sell, let's say, a vacuum to a housewife. Well, how did on earth did they do that? Well, some of them would go door to door or buy radio commercials. But a lot of them, what they did was they would do these services where you could send a letter to a million housewives in America, and it basically meant you had to send pieces of paper with typewriter writing, and you had to use words so good that you had to make your money back because it was incredibly expensive to do this. And so they got incredibly good at figuring out what words convince people to buy and take action and do stuff. And so I love learning from those guys from the 50s all the way up to the 90s, like pre-internet era guys. Those are the best places to learn from. And
Okay.
David Ogilvy is one of those. You saw Ogilvy Mather, that was a multi tens of billions of dollar ad firm now, and they're glamorous. They do all probably Ford or Ferrari, all this fancy stuff. But he started as a copywriter, kind of a like he would write these like just they call them sales letters, these letters that they would mail to people to sell anything. You guys are going to think a couple things. You're going to think a few things. You're going to think ads don't work on me. Obviously, that's nonsense, right? You're going to see long form copy. You're going to see so basically, there's a lot of sales pages that you go to, and it's just tons and tons of words. You're going to say that doesn't work on me. That used to work then. It doesn't work nowadays. And you're going to like see like cheesy headlines and all that stuff. You're going to think none of that works on me. You're wrong. It does. And we could I mean we could go through examples, but you just had Amazon, like for example, long form copy typically is almost always better than short form copy. You just were, Jason, on Amazon.com, the most well-known website potentially in the world. And if you were to look at that book that you just had up and you were to see all of the words that were on there, as well as all the photos, as well as all the reviews, there's probably 10,000 reviews, that was probably tens of thousands of words on there. If you go to apple.com and you look at how much an iPhone costs, or you want to buy an iPhone, it's going to have a photo's worth 1,000 words, tons of photos, and tons of words. It's going to be a really long page. Anyone who sells a lot of anything knows all these principles. And one of the principles is that long form is better than short form. And a lot of people listening, they're not going to believe it, but they're wrong.
Being a founder is a lot of work. You have to focus on your fundraising. Then you got to hire the perfect team. Oh, gosh, product market fit, finding your first customers. But all of this means nothing if you're not actually a real business that's structured properly, giving your investors and clients the confidence to partner with you. At launch, we're constantly recommending Northwest Registered Agent to our founders because for just $39 plus state fees, they will act as your registered agent. That means they take care of all the paperwork, making sure your business remains compliant, protecting your privacy, and more. And as a founder, hey man, there are so many organizational odds and ends that you have to worry about, so why not have a partner who can focus on all those little details? Then you can obsess about your customers. And Northwest Registered Agent is even going to help you set up a phone line, a professional email account, and find you a great domain name. So here's your call to action. Go to northwestregisteredagent.com/twist to get your company set up the right way.